What is going on, guys? Extra here, bringing you guys another story today, and as you can tell by the title, Going to School High. So this story I'm about to tell is actually the first and only time I've done this. That's like one thing my parents especially wanted me to know is like if they told me they're like, if you're gonna smoke weed, don't get high before school or after school. Because they don't want it to affect my learning abilities at school and then affect me, not doing my homework after school and stuff like that. Not studying because I'll be too tired or whatever. But let's get right into the story. So, I definitely wanted to get high before school because, a lot of my friends did it, and I just wanted to try and see how, different it would be going to school high and, how different I was going to act and stuff. But, so I tell my friend, I'm pretty sure it was like Monday or something, or it was Sunday or Monday. I think it was Monday, and I was like, hey, you want to smoke weed tomorrow before school? Because I know I did it on Tuesday, and he's like, yeah, dude. And so I had planned out was just I had my piece, and I had a little bit of weed left, and me and him were just going to smoke like three bowls. Because that's one thing I told him before we did. I was like, okay, if we're going to do this, I have to be to school on time. My parents hate it when, I'm tardy. Because I've been tardy, like, probably 6 times. Something like that. Maybe only, like, 5. But still, like, that's a lot to them. But so I tell my dad I want to walk with my friend. So I was going to get up early, like, Monday night. And he's like, okay, because, I usually walk to school every day, but he usually drops me off, like, either, like, McDonald's or there's, like, a pharmacy near my school. He usually drops me off there, and it's, like, a 10-minute walk from there. So I usually do that, but so I got dropped off at the front of my friend's neighborhood. He was waiting there, and then we started walking like we were heading towards the school, and once my dad turned out of the neighborhood, we turned around. And I've told stories about smoking at this spot before, but there's like these big trees in the front of his neighborhood, and we go behind there. And so I had my piece, and I had the weed, and he brought his grinder, and I think I had my lighter also. And so we grind up what I have. It's not that much, only probably about I don't even know, maybe 0.4, 0.5, something like that, but we get the first bowl going. I'm starting to feel it. We're passing it back and forth, taking hits. We get another bowl packed, pretty fat one. I think I remember the second one being pretty fat. And then, luckily, since I didn't eat breakfast because I had to go to go meet him so early, and instead of waking up when my alarm went off, sorry about that, I decided to, sleep in like 30 more minutes. So I didn't have time for breakfast, but my dad gave us $6. So we went up to McDonald's. Me and him both got a McGriddle, and the munchies went away. But so we walked to school from McDonald's, and even though I usually don't have the best luck sometimes, we went right to the bathroom, and my eyes were perfect. Like, they were white. I wasn't really bloodshot, maybe a little, but they weren't red. And I was like, thank God. Luck was on my side this time. But then I brought some cologne in my bag in case I smelled, even though it probably wore off on the walk there. So I put on some of that cologne, and then hung out with him in the hallways for a little longer. Went to class and started my day off with first period, but surprisingly it wasn't even really more hard or anything for me to pay attention, and I didn't get caught. I only told a few people, which is one of the keys to not getting caught high. You don't go around telling everyone, because eventually it's going to make it towards a snitch or something, and you're going to get told on for coming to school high. But luckily, I didn't bring my lighter or my piece or anything to school. I left it where we smoked. So that's another thing. You shouldn't actually bring that stuff inside. But I told one kid in my first period, I have like no friends in first period, but I've known this guy for a while, and I knew he smoked. So I was like, dude, I'm high as fuck right now. And he's like, huh, really? And then, sat down and then went through the rest of the day. And surprisingly, no one even asked me. Like, a lot of times though, people be like, hey, are you high? And I'll always be like, no. And they're like, dude, yeah, you are. But I don't know, today I pulled it off, and no one even really said anything. Of course, a few people did, and I think the people who asked me, like people I sat with lunch with, I told them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, leave a like, and I definitely do not recommend this, especially if you are not straight when you're high. But if you guys enjoyed the story, please subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.